Hello chess friends and lovers of chess. Welcome to this awesome video where we want to solve this particular position. Actually, it is white to play and win. In this video, I'm going to share the scope and ideas to go about this position. In this video also, you're going to learn some terms used in the end game. You might have been using them, you might know about them. So I'm going to expose them to you in this video. What are Keysquares? From white perspective, Keysquares are squares that gives assurance of victory when occupied by your king or other pieces regardless of whose turn to play. In this position, we want to talk in respect from the white perspective, and most of the illustration will be coming from the white perspective, although I'll be mentioning some moves that black can make. Keysquares in this position for white involve that square white needs to stand so as to win this game. You see, this white king needs to get to a6, b6 or c6 so as to win this game successfully. There are other basic ideas or tactical ideas that is involved. Knowing these Keysquares, we can move to the next term, opposition. You see, opposition is very important in the end game. Opposition is a state of two kings standing on the same file with one square separating them. When I use the word one square, this refers to closed opposition. But when we have more than one squares in between the kings, this is a king, this is a king, and we have 1, 2, 3 squares, we can refer to this kind of opposition as distant opposition. Sometimes we can have close to 5 squares in between the two kings. It's also known as distant opposition. Opposition can be along the file, it can be along the diagonal, and it can also be along the horizontal, depending on the angle you are trying to project opposition. To get the opposition means to put the opponent king in Zuzwang, and to fall into opposition also means to fall into Zuzwang by oneself. So let's dive right in and learn other things along the way. The first move in this position is king to f5 because white wants to seize the opposition. Black is limited with number of squares here, so we must take advantage of that by creating distant opposition first. So in creating distant opposition, we must also have in our mind that there are corresponding squares that equate black moves. So in our mind, we already know that if black makes a move, there must be a square that counters black move so as to give us a reciprocal Zuzwang. So corresponding squares are squares of reciprocal Zuzwang. So if black plays to make us enter a Zuzwang, we have to counter that move by entering a square that reverses black to play in Zuzwang. Check this out. If black chooses to play king to a6, the corresponding square to a6 in this position is this square here, e6. So let's choose one square. If black chooses to go to b6, the corresponding square is king to this square here, f6. Watch how it works. King to b6 is played by black. If you go to this square right away, then we are going to lose this game to a draw because black already has space to come here and seize the opposition, and this king is now locked out. The king cannot reach to that Keysquares. So what to do? Let's maintain a distance opposition with king to f6. If king to b7, what do you think is done here? Let's play king to f7, maintaining distance opposition, 3 squares, and we are good to go. The challenge here is asking black, what do you think you want to do? If black tries to come outside here, we're going to seize the opposition with moving the king closer, and black is still locked into this tight corner. If king to b6, fine, let's look for a corresponding square to equate that move there, b6. Coming back to this square, we have treated it. We will give black the chance to come here and lock us out by controlling this square, and this square. The black king will have access to those squares. So to have more reach to squares and prevent black from having access to any of those squares is by playing to a space where we have more room to cover up spaces. Like we're going to have rooms to these squares and gain the opposition. It is from here also we are going to convert from distant opposition to closed opposition with the following variation. If king to c7, watch this. You know, the king is trying to come outside of his shell and have access to our pawns in this place. But because of we know exactly what we are doing and we are looking forward to studying our position using the power of triangulation and so on and so forth, we are going to kick this king back and create a lot of ideas with the knowledge of outflanking and win this game. Here is what we're going to do. King to e7 is the move that kicks black back to its base. Now, what do black do? Black cannot have access to this square here or here. So we have gained the opposition. We are forcing black to play a move he doesn't want to play, which is black is in Zuzwang. So black must move. What do black do? Black plays king to c8. Simple. This move is a demonstration of outflanking techniques. We have pushed black away from the road. He has moved away to the other side. And outflanking techniques from my own perspective says, once black goes to the opposite side, we are going to go to the opposite side. We are not going to follow black toward the same direction so we can still keep the opposition. See what I mean? Black is already here. So it won't make any sense to come here. So the best place to go now is here, locking the king away from defending most of its pawns. So what we're going to do is, instead of going to this square, let's simply come here and win this game by outflanking the black king. So we come here and we are still maintaining opposition in the sense that the king cannot come closer to us and any move he plays is a disadvantage move for black. So the next move we're going to look at here is king to b7 because black still want to protect this pawn. Like I said earlier, we have converted distant opposition to close opposition where we just have only one square between our two kings. In this case, king to d7 does the magic and we are seizing the opposition here. King to b6. We are not going to follow king moving in the same direction. We are going to outflank here. The king is out of the way, so we go here. King to c8. King to a7. King to c7. King to a8. Now, we can now apply basic rule here by capturing this pawn. And in this position, we have stepped into the key squares we need so we can win this game. These are our key squares. Now my king is there. There's assurance of victory from here. So if king to b8, then king takes on c5. And white can win this game with these two pawns. Check this out. King to c7, trying to stir up some kind of defense. But this doesn't work. King to b5 is the right way to go. If king to d6, then c5 check. King to d7, king to b6, king to c8, king to c6. From here, the game is actually lost for black. If black wants to play, this pawn cannot move, so black has to play the king. King moves here, he has gone out of the way. We can just play here. That's a demonstration of outflanking. So if king moves to this direction, king moves here, then nothing else can be done here. This pawn is already strong to become a queen, and that's how we win this game in no time. Thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed something new, kindly drop a new word you picked up from this video in the comment section. See you in the next video. I have a lot in stock for you when it comes to the end game. I hope you grow in your chess games. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video.